Stampin' friends, and welcome. This is Dee Osburn, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I was inspired by a card that is featured on the online exclusives. So if you go to my website at deebeststamping.stampinup.net, okay, then you can shop my website, and I will leave a link below. But anyway, you can go on that website and type in online exclusives, and you will find this card and the things that you need to make it. I loved it, and so I pretty much did it exactly like it is online because I just absolutely loved it and I wanted one. So I made one. So I'm going to show you how it's made. I used a couple of things actually that were different. I used a different sentiment. It used this sentiment from the bundle. It's the Tropical Leaf bundle, and they used the Love You Lots. But I wanted a thank you card, and so I made it into a thank you card. You could also type hello, or not type, but you know, stamp hello or any of the other sentiments that are on here, or pick one from a different set, which I did. This set is retired, but you could use any sentiment you want. I, like I said, needed a thank you note, so I made a thank you note. So the Tropical Leaf bundle, and with the Tropical Leaf bundle, they bundle in the punch that you punch out the leaves with. So super easy card to make. We're gonna do that right now. So the first thing that you're going to need is a piece of Smoky Slate cardstock cut at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, so we're going to take that, and you can use your bone folder if you can find it. Where is my bone folder? I used it just recently. There it is. And you give that a nice crisp fold, and I oriented the card this way. I think it's like that on the online as well. And I'm going to put a piece of basic white on the inside, cut at 5 1/4 by 4. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I like putting an inside in it because it just weights it a little bit and makes it just, I think, a more quality card, I think. Okay, so now we've got the inside. We're going to open this up because we're going to actually stamp on this. Okay, and I'm actually going to bring this in. This is, what's this called? A Stampin' Pierce mat? Something like that. I will leave the link below. And that, since we're using photopolymer stamps, it's going to give it just a little bit more give so that it can get a nice you know, stamp a nice image. I am going to use Garden Green. Now in this one I used Garden Green and I stamped it off to get the lighter image here. But here I used Mint Macaron. So if you have Mint Macaron, you'll stamp in Mint Macaron. If you don't, like today, I'm going to go ahead and just stamp off my Garden Green and see how I like that. Since the Mint Macaron is retired, I thought we would try it with just all Garden Green and see how it turns out. We'll see. At the end, you can tell me which one you like better. So here's my Garden Green. Let's get started. Now, I inked this up recently, so I do kind of want to see how dark that is. So that's not too bad. I like that. All right, so we're going to ink that up, and then we're going to stamp with a fully inked image, and then we're going to stamp again because it'll be stamped off and it'll give me a lighter image. Okay, and I might even be able to do one more. I think I'll put one, since I inked up so much. Yeah, see, I like that. you don't necessarily have to do it that way. You can re-ink. So I'm going to ink up again, and I'm going to put one right here, fully inked. And then I'm going to put one that's stamped off, I think right here. And then one that's stamped off again, right here. And then I want a fully inked one, I think, right there. And a stamped off one coming off the bottom here. Okay. I think that's going to do it. All right. I'm going to clean my stamp and put that away. Now, you also need this stamp before you put this away. And actually, I'm going to need to stamp these again on the white paper. So I'm going to leave that out. But I'm going to go ahead and get this done. So you ink it up, and then you just put it in here. You just place it on there and give it the veins. Okay? Just put it on there and give it the veins. And that's okay that's there, because you're going to have a leaf over that. This one's just going to poke out a little bit. So stamp all the veins on every single one. It's pretty simple. It lines up beautifully. So it's super easy to do. And I'm inking, fully inking every single time. All right. So now that takes care of that. I am going to use this again, so I'm going to keep that out. I could have, in fact, I think I did on this one, stamped some smaller leaves, a couple of smaller leaves, but that's okay. I didn't do it this time. But you can, and then it's got the veins for it. So I can put this away now, and I'm going to get out a scrap white, and I'm going to stamp with the large leaf. I'm going to stamp close to the edge, because if I want to do the punch, I need it close to the edge. And I'm going to stamp one on, and then I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp a very light one. Okay? Then I'm going to ink up again. I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to stamp a fully inked one. I'm going to stamp off and stamp a third, say, generation there. Okay, so I'm done with that. Done with that stamp. And now I need my veins. And you're going to stamp them fully inked every time. Okay? Fully inked every time. All right. I always like to clean my stamps before I place them to the side, because then I don't forget and the ink doesn't kind of, you know, soak in. Now, if you want to stamp the Love You Lots, there's that one, and you could totally do that. But I stamped, let me put this away, I stamped with pecan pie. And I stamped the thank you from the other set, the Peaceful Moments. And I think that looks really good. On this one, I used gold embossing powder. And I kind of like that. It steps it up pretty nicely. But on this one, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do it that way this time. Okay? So that's this one, the thank you, but I already stamped it, so put that to the side. Now, we're going to have to cut out our leaves. So you take your punch, and it's super easy to line up, and it stamps beautifully. So you just line it up, line it up, and I push down slowly until it kind of grabs where I want it. A little close to the edge on this one, so. Okay, and there's one. There's two. Three. And 4. Okay, there's that. Now I have my 4 leaves, and I like it just stamped off. There's no need to grab a mint macaron, you know, or if you like to do the mint macaron, you can totally do that, but there's absolutely no need to do that. All right, so on this side, I did the dark leaf on top and the light leaf on the bottom. And on this one, I did it the opposite way, like that. Okay, look how cute that is. I love it. And I used dimensionals. So let's get our dimensionals and do that. So I'm going to put these dimensionals on the back. And you kind of have to think about where you want the dimensionals to go. So I'm going to start with the dark one that goes on the top, because it's the very bottom one. So I can put my dimensionals wherever I want on this one. And you really only need one, but for this one, the anchor one, I'm going to go ahead and put 2. And I'm not going to press down yet, but I want it about right there. And then for the lighter one, you know, it's going to have to go on top. So I'm going to put my dimensional over on this side. So it's going to go over here, so I'm going to put my dimensional on this side. And I'm not going to press down yet. And you kind of want to stagger them a little bit. You don't want them to be perfect, okay? Stagger them just a tiny bit. And then the lighter one goes on the bottom here, and just one dimensional in the center is really all you need. And you want to overlap them. You don't want to have a hole in the center, okay? And so for this one, I'm going to need to put it on this side. So you just kind of look, and then you say, oh yeah, I need it on this side. And then you can put it down. Oops. Okay. And I like that, so I'm going to press it down. Then you're going to take your thank you, or whatever sentiment you decided, and I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on the back of it, because I'm going to pop it up as well. And I'm going to put that right in the middle, covering up like the seam, right? Look how cute that is. I could have probably spread my leaves out a little bit more. Probably should have. And now I'm going to get my 2-way glue pen, and I'm going to glitter only the popped up leaves, not the ones that are stamped on the card base. Okay. And you just sprinkle it on there, covering up everywhere that you glued, and then tap it off. And then somewhere I have a It's probably in one of my little tubs. I have a brush, so let me grab that. Okay. And I just like to brush it off so that there's not quite as much on there, but it still has this nice sheen. All right, now the other thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna put some bling on there. And I chose the 2021-2023 in color opal rounds. And, but you can put anything. You could put diamonds, you could put pearls, you could put whatever you want. And I kind of like this color this time. I think I did the darker one or the lighter one. No, I did the darker one last time. But this time I want to do this one. Put 2 right here. Oops. If you don't have a take your pick tool, you don't need one. You can pick them off with your fingers and it will work just fine. So I don't think I need any more. I think I'm going to stop there. Okay. Well, there you have it. Quick and easy and simple. It is on the website, on my website. I'll put a link below you go to the online exclusives. So go to my website and then type in online exclusives and it will take you, I think it's, for me, it was on like the 3rd page. And then you can see this card and this is how you make it. And I think it's just so sweet. I really love it. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this video and that you like this set. And I hope I've inspired you to make a leaf thank you or a love you lots or some kind of card using this set or something similar. And I hope that this gives you some inspiration. I do hope that you will come back and see me and have a great rest of your day.